I had a conversation with Adam Silver, commissioner of our league. I just told him, Adam, it's too much for me. Like, this is too much. It's all becoming too much for me. And I'm going to retire. And Adam said, you're making a very rash decision. And I won't let you do that. You know, we had a long, great conversation, very helpful to me. Very thankful to play in a league with a commissioner like Adam. Who's more about helping you than hurting you, or helping you than punishing you, or, you know, he's more about the players.
Very interesting. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Draymond Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah. On today's episode, we're going to talk about some recent NBA news. Had some NBA injuries happen to a couple of our superstar point guards. Had a certain superstar small forward for the Los Angeles Clippers signed a contract extension. And then we have the return to Draymond Green, or should I say, the guy that was getting ready to retire because he was mad he got suspended. Man, y'all, let's be honest. Draymond Green said that he told Adam Silver this was too much for him. He said he was getting ready to retire. Now, as y'all know, or I think many of y'all know, Draymond Green just literally last offseason signed a 4-year, $100 million deal. Now, if he retires, y'all say I put it up on your screen. If Draymond would have retired, he would have forfeited the remainder of his contract, which he just signed last offseason. That was a 4-year, $100 million deal, y'all. So this man was willing to forfeit $75 million, all because he, quote unquote, didn't get his way. Draymond, come on, bro. Really? Going to retire? Really, man? There's no way Draymond was going to retire, y'all. And everyone knows that. Dude, you cannot be upset because the NBA punished you for your actions. And really, as y'all see, as I put on y'all screen, Draymond only missed 12 games, should have been more. 12 games, y'all, that's it. You talking about this guy has been a problem for pretty much the last decade. Now, I remember him doing stuff back in 2015. I remember during the 2015-16 NBA season, after the Warriors had just played the Milwaukee Bucks, and he had shoved OJ Mayo. I don't know if y'all remember that. This was back in 2015, y'all. So he has been a problem child for the last 10 years. And we know all the stuff he done. Steven Adams, LeBron, KD, Carmelo, CP3. Remember him and Rajon Rondo, they had a little thing. Anthony Davis. We know all the stuff he's done. All the little antics that he's pulled. Yusuf Nurkic, Domantas Sabonis, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell. And he only gets suspended 12 games. Now, mind you, the NBA said it was going to be an indefinite suspension. So I'm thinking he's going to be suspended at least 25, 30 games. Only 12 games? Only 12 games? Does that make sense? Y'all, does that make sense? Only a 12-game suspension for a guy, let me repeat, that has been a problem child in the NBA for the last 10 years now. And he only got a 12-game suspension. So the fact that Draymond came out and said he talked to Adam Silver and told him, Adam, this is too much for me. What's too much, man? What do you mean it's too much? What is too much for you? Because may he rest in peace, David Stern, I promise y'all this. Because I've been watching the NBA for a long time. And I know the history of this game. If David Stern was alive and the commissioner still, Draymond would be banned from the league right now. Let me repeat. If David Stern was still alive and the commissioner, Draymond Green would be banned from the league. Because David Stern was a no-nonsense kind of guy. And look, I think Adam Silver was a really, really, really good commissioner. But he is definitely more laid back in his approach. And I get it, everyone has to be themselves. But at the end of the day, if a player has repeatedly been a problem to your brand, because y'all know the NBA is a brand, it's a business. If a player continues to be a problem to your brand, to your business, you have to discipline him accordingly. And the NBA has not disciplined Draymond enough. 12 games, really? 12 games. Look, y'all see the picture I got of Draymond. He even got his hands up like, wow, that's it? Y'all only suspended me 12 games? He's even surprised by this, man. Come on, Draymond, dude. You supposed to be from Saginaw, Michigan, bro. I thought y'all people that's from Saginaw, Michigan, y'all was some real people. But this is really fugazi what you're saying, man. This is very fugazi. Because there's no way in the world you really were going to forfeit the remainder of your contract because you quote unquote didn't get your way. So what you think? You feel like you should only got suspended what? 2, 3, 4 games? So a 12-game suspension, it was too much for you. Really, man? I've seen guys get suspended way longer than that. Steven Jackson. Remember the Malice at the Palace when Steven Jackson, Ben Wallace, Ron Artest, all them boys got suspended? I think Ron Artest, he served what was like an 86-game suspension, the longest suspension in NBA history. I never heard him say anything, I'm going to retire. Oh, it's too much for me. I never heard him say anything like that. Steven Jackson has come out before and said he lost about, I think, $1.5 to $2 million due to that suspension. But I never heard him say he was going to retire. Come on, Draymond. Dude, no one believes this. No one believes this at all. And for you to have the audacity to go on your podcast, to go on your show and say that you were going to retire because it was too much for you, it's utterly ridiculous, man. What is too much for you? What exactly is quote unquote too much for you, man? Because Adam Silver, he let you get off easy. He let you get off easy. Okay? David Stern, you would be banned right now from the NBA. I guarantee y'all that. Draymond Green would be banned from the NBA. Can I get an amen on that? Come on, y'all. We know Draymond ain't going nowhere. He's not going anywhere. He's playing for the Warriors. The Warriors are one of the most famous franchises in the world. Not just in the NBA, in the world. They have an owner who is very, very, very rich. He's not afraid to spend money. He literally gets to play with one of the greatest players ever, Steph Curry. Like, dude, he's not going anywhere. Trust me. Draymond Green is not leaving the Golden State Warriors anytime soon, man. We all know that. He knows that. Draymond, brother, come on, man. As the people would say, get real, my brother. Get real, man. Come on, Dre. I thought you was better than that, bro. So, y'all, let's transition from a guy that said he was going to retire to a guy that just signed a contract extension.
Why? Obviously, this is a team that doesn't go away. This game felt like a track meet at times. How much did that test you guys tonight?
Tested us big time. You know, like you said, they never give up, and they get out in transition. And, you know, that was hurting us early, pretty much the whole game, but in that fourth quarter, we locked in on the defensive end.
29 points, 7 boards, and maybe the biggest performance of the night. But on a day that you ink your extension with the team, just the timing of it, why was that important to you?
I'm just happy we got the win tonight. I mean, I thank God, you know, for giving me the opportunity and the blessings that He gave me, being able to sign a contract. But you know, it's still more work to do.
Talk about still having work to do. What has it meant to you to do this here back home?
It's been great. I mean, I've been here the last 4 years, and, you know, hopefully we can keep this thing going.
All right, thanks, Kawhi. Wow.
Yes, y'all just heard from Los Angeles Clippers superstar forward Kawhi Leonard, man. As yesterday, y'all, he inked his contract extension. Los Angeles Clippers superstar Kawhi Leonard agreed to a 3-year, fully guaranteed deal that will tie him to the Clippers through the 26-27 season, y'all. 3-year, $152.4 fully guaranteed deal. Excuse me, I forgot to add the money part into it. Obviously, that's the big part of it. But yes, so first off, congratulations to Kawhi. For those that know me, if anybody that's ever seen me, I think y'all seen me on this channel, obviously. I have jokingly said that Kawhi's my twin. Me and him, you know, similar hairstyles. We got the same kind of beard shape up, same kind of taper fade, all that stuff, right? We really have a strong resemblance. Man, Kawhi, one of the best two-way players in NBA history, right? And very happy for him and his family to see him get a fully guaranteed deal, especially considering all the things that he's been through in terms of injuries, the past, 6-7 years now. But to see him get this kind of guaranteed money, I mean, it's nice, right? It's nice. And I'm very happy for Kawhi. I always want, you know, a man to get his money. And Kawhi is obviously a superstar player, man. He's been amazing this year, y'all, shooting a career high from three, a career high from shooting a career high from three, and shooting a career high from the field goal percentage. Just been an incredible year for him. Obviously, the Clippers have been really hot as of late, and I see why they did this. Right, you talking about the Clippers? They really didn't have any other choice, right? You're not gonna trade Kawhi because no team is really gonna trade for Kawhi. Let's be honest. I mean, a team would trade for him, but you're not gonna really get that much value in return for him because one, his age, two, his injury history, and three, most teams probably would have not done this, committed to him long term like this, with especially this kind of money that they dished out to him. But the Clippers didn't have a choice; they had to do this. And obviously, Kawhi is still a superstar player when he's healthy, which is a big if. But when he's healthy, he is a top 10 player in our game, and so this was definitely deserved. You also heard yesterday that Paul George and the Clippers were talking, and they're trying to get a contract extension done with him, which is, nice to see. Again, the Clippers don't have a choice. You have to, right? You traded all those picks to get Paul George, man. You better ride with him until he retires. You do not have a choice. And so, again, for Kawhi, this made sense. Obviously, this made a ton of sense for him to get a fully guaranteed deal. So that way, and hopefully he does it, but if he was to get injured, at least he already has his money in the bank. So good for him. Good by his agent to get a fully guaranteed deal. I really, really like that for him. This will tie him until he's 35. Now we gotta see what Kawhi's gonna look like. He's that old, right? Because we know he's had injury problems, particularly with his knees. I don't know, man. As he gets older, I don't know if his game is still gonna remain the same. But for right now, I mean, again, it makes sense. The Clippers, I mean, they've been playing really well as of late, so I understand why they did this. But y'all, when I look at the Clippers' outlook, so with Kawhi getting his extension and reports of Paul George getting a contract done soon, the Clippers will have their stars as they enter their new arena. As we know, the arena is going to be opening this fall. And yeah, I mean, you're going into a billion dollar arena. You better have some billion dollar NBA superstars you can put into that arena, right? And we always know California is always going to be a Laker town no matter what. But the Clippers, obviously Steve Ballmer, he wants to make sure that butts are in those seats. And so to make sure that people are coming to the games, you need to have a good product out on the court. And as long as Paul George and Kawhi can stay healthy, they will put a good product on the court. After the season, they will have to make a decision on James Harden, who has been playing well, and the team overall has been playing well. As y'all see, as I stated earlier, yeah, they have been playing well, right? The Clippers really finding their mojo. James Harden starting to mesh. He's out taking a backseat. He's not averaging, 25, 30 points that, we used to see from James Harden. He's taking a backseat. He's shooting a career high from three. I think he's shooting about 43.5% from three. So, yeah, the Clippers been playing well, man. They're shooting the lights out of the ball. They got a lot of shooting on that team. They got a lot of depth on that team. So, yeah, they are playing well. I give them credit. Hey, I still want to see what it looks like in the playoffs. Y'all know about 2 or 3 months ago, I came on here and said I would not have traded for James Harden. Hey, they're playing well right now, but I still want to see what it looks like in the playoffs. So, in conclusion, for the Clippers and their fans, they have to hope the juice is worth the squeeze as they are hitching their wagon to 3 agent/injury-prone stars. And here's the thing, y'all. You just gave Kawhi this money. Obviously, like I said yesterday, we heard Adrian Wojnarowski report that they also looking to get Paul George locked up on a contract extension as well. And then I'm pretty sure they're going to want to bring back James Harden. So, Kawhi turns 33 this year. Paul George turns 34. James Harden turns 35. So those are going to be your 3, main players, your 3 top guys for the next probably 3 to 4 years. For the Clippers, man, y'all better be praying to God that this is going to work out, because this could really end up being really, really bad. This could be really, really bad, because we already see James Harden. We know he's in decline. He's playing well for the role that he's asked to do on the team, but he's still, James Harden's not the old James Harden. We know the problems he's had with organizations. We know the problems that he's had staying in shape, right? Y'all got to make sure you keep James Harden happy, because, man, as much as I love James Harden, this dude will switch teams in a heartbeat, y'all. I really mean that. So, Clippers fans, organizations, you better keep James Harden happy, because if you don't, this brother will definitely get out of town as soon as possible. So, y'all got to keep James Harden happy. But, yeah, you talking about y'all are hitching y'all's wagon to 3 agent/injury-prone stars. That's a huge risk right there. It's a huge risk, because Paul George, Kawhi, and James Harden, they're getting older, right? And again, all 3 of them have dealt with, not so much James Harden, but obviously Paul George and Kawhi have dealt with injuries. James Harden is aging, and his plan. James Harden has never played particularly well in the playoffs, but obviously as he's getting older, his playoff career, it just seems like it's diminishing, y'all. I mean, we saw what he did last year against the Celtics, right? He had that huge game 1. I think he had a huge game 3, game 4. But in the last 3 games of that series, particularly that game 6, when the Sixers should have closed out the Celtics, James Harden was nowhere to be found. So this is a huge risk for the Clippers, for Lawrence Frank, for Steve Ballmer. I'm going to just say this, man. This going to go one or 2 ways. All right, this is going to work out. Y'all might be able to win a championship, or this is going to be a big failure. Because, y'all, you're talking about, okay, now Kawhi's on the book for about 50-something million, right? Paul George, you're probably going to pay him probably 47 to 50-something million, right? And then James Harden, you probably pay him maybe 35 to 40 million. I mean, that's a lot of money for 3 guys that have been injury prone, 3 guys that are aging, 3 guys who are not the same players really they used to be. I mean, even Kawhi, Kawhi is still a superstar player, but he's not the same defensive player that he used to be due to his injuries. And so that is a lot of money for 3 guys that you really don't know how long they're going to hold up. But hey, Clippers, y'all better hope it works out, man. Because if it doesn't, oh boy, this is not going to be good for y'all. Yeah, it's not going to be good. Next up, y'all, let's talk about Tyrese Haliburton. I'm not going to show y'all the video, man, because it was just so gruesome. But I think y'all saw the video of Tyrese Haliburton the other night when he had that gruesome injury, man. It looked like it was worse than what it was, but thank God it is. So let's get into it. Pacers star Tyrese Haliburton has a grade 1 left hamstring strain, and MRI revealed on Tuesday he will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. This is Todd's stats: 23.6 points per game, 4.2 rebounds, 12.5 assists, which leads the league, 1.1 steals, 0.7 blocks, shooting 48% from the floor, almost 41 from 3, and almost 87 from the line. Man, this is, I would say this is somewhat devastating because we don't know when he's going to come back, right? It just says he will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. That does not mean he's going to come back in 2 weeks. That just means he will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. So we don't know, like, you know, the health situation when it pertains to Tyrese Haliburton. But I will say this, y'all. This is the best case scenario for the Pacers, because for those of y'all that saw the way he failed the other night, it really looked like it was going to be something more severe than just a hamstring strain. Let's be honest. It looked like it was going to be worse than that. So the fact that it's a somewhat minor injury, minor injury is the best case scenario for the Pacers. Obviously, we know the Pacers, man, very high flying. They have the #1 offense in the league. They average the most assists per game. As y'all see, I got on here, man, big reason the Pacers, he is a big reason the Pacers lead the NBA in points per game and assists per game. Tyrese Haliburton is one of the best point guards in the league, man. I think Shea, those two guys for the next 10 years, man, are going to be battling to see who's the best point guard in the league. Tyrese Haliburton, y'all, he reminds me a lot of an old school point guard for all my old heads out there, Kevin Johnson. I think y'all remember Kevin Johnson back in the day, man. Kevin Johnson was a dude that can get you 25 points, get you 12, 13 assists. He could shoot the ball a little bit. I think Tyrese Haliburton is definitely a better shooter than Kevin Johnson. But I think in terms of playmaking, in terms of scoring, I think Kevin Johnson's more athletic. Y'all remember Kevin Johnson, that dunk he had on the Hakeem Olajuwon, but I think Kevin Johnson's more athletic than Tyrese Haliburton. But I think Tyrese Haliburton is a better shooter. I think he's a more all-around player. I think he's a better rebounder. Again, Kevin Johnson was not a great shooter at all, really. He was not a great shooter from 3, but he was so athletic. He was so quick. Sorry, y'all. He could get to the basket, right? And that's what made Kevin Johnson such a elite point guard. And Tyrese Haliburton, y'all, again, he has that blend of Kevin Johnson. He has some CP3 in his game, too. He is just your quintessential point guard. He is a guy that I would take at point guard, y'all, because I love my point guards to be pass first. I love my point guards to be well-rounded. He's a solid defender. He's, again, an elite shooter, elite free throw shooter. 10 games with 15 or more assists, including a 23 assist game. Y'all, I mean, this dude, he is just godly. Tyrese Haliburton this dude is going to be a superstar if he isn't already. I mean, he darn it. He's been playing like a superstar, right? I still think, man, the Kings, and some people might not like this, but y'all, I really still feel like the Kings should have kept Tyrese Haliburton and traded De'Aaron Fox, just because I feel like Tyrese Haliburton does have a better ceiling than De'Aaron Fox, because he's a better shooter, he's a better playmaker, and he's bigger, right? He's bigger, he's taller, he's has a bigger wingspan than De'Aaron Fox. I would have kept him, but I understand why they did it. So, y'all, how can the Pacers stay afloat? That's probably the question you ask. Well, this is how they can. With the Pacers shooting, playmaking, and depth, they should be able to hold down the floor until their superstar comes back. Y'all see the 3 guys on my screen, man. Miles Turner, Benedict Mather, and Aaron Nesmith. But it's more than that, y'all. This team has 8 guys that average double figures. Jalen Smith is a part of the crew. You got Buddy Hield, a sniper from 3. Bruce Brown, solid two-way player. Obi Toppin, who's a high flyer, but has really improved his three-point shooting this year for the Pacers. You got Andrew Nembhard, man, who's a solid playmaker. TJ McConnell, really good two-way playmaker, pesky defender. So I like the Pacers. They should still be able to keep this thing going in the right direction. They're 4th in the East right now. They got a 22-15 record. But again, with the depth shooting and playmaking that they possess on their team, they should be okay. I have no concerns about the Pacers at all. Again, they're not a great defensive team, but in terms of scoring, they still got all the scoring. I mean, Jalen Smith just a couple of weeks ago, as recent as 2 weeks ago, y'all, he was leading the league in 3-point percentage. Right now, I think it might be Aaron Neesmith leading the league in 3-point percentage. So, you talking about the shooting that they have on this team, the playmaking, the depth that they possess. I think the Pacers will be A-okay. And last but certainly not least, we have some very unfortunate news. As Memphis Grizzlies point guard Ja Morant will miss the remainder of the season with a torn labrum, the Grizzlies announced on Monday evening Morant will undergo season-ending surgery and is expected to make a full recovery ahead of the 24-25 season. And man, you talking about devastating news, y'all. Obviously, Ja Morant literally just returned from his 25-game suspension, and he reminded us he's still Ja. He's still one of the most electrifying players in the league. He might be the most athletic player in the league. And the Grizzlies were playing really good basketball with him. We're going to get into the numbers here in a second, but they were playing really good basketball with him. And, gosh, man, I really hate hearing this, y'all. I really, really do. But now Ja has the rest of the year to get right. He could come back in the fall and, go back to being one of the best young players that we have in our game. Let's look at Ja's stats in 9 games this year. So he averaged 25.1 points per game, 5.6 rebounds per game, 8.1 assists, 0.8 steals, 0.8 blocks, shot 47% from field goal percentage, 27.5% from 3, 81% from the free throw line. And like I stated a few seconds ago, the Grizzlies had 63 record with him in lineup. Oh, man. Obviously, the Grizzlies, man, last week, they did the number on my Lakers, man. Marcus Smart hit 8 threes. Desmond Bane had 27 points and 13 assists. They did a number on my Lakers. But now, and as I just mentioned, Desmond Bane, obviously this team has 2 all-star players, and Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. Marcus Smart is a really good two-way guard. But not having Ja, man, it's just different, y'all. It's just different. Their offense is totally different. The Grizzlies had one of the worst offenses in the league before Ja came. Their pace, I think they may have been second or third worst in pace in the league. I mean, this offense was just very boring, right? Because they did not have their guy. They did not have Mr. Ja Morant running the show. And so now you probably ask Jose, what should the Grizzlies do? Well, this is what I think they should do. Where the Grizzlies go from here? With a 14-23 record, the Grizzlies should tank, quote unquote, and look to get a top pick in this year's draft. While many view this draft as being weak, it would greatly benefit the Grizzlies to have a top pick as ammo to make a big trade. This is what I believe. If I was the Grizzlies, I would tank, quote unquote. Again, teams not gonna come out and say, yeah, we're tanking. That's what I would do. They're 13th in the Western Conference. They're probably not gonna go and play in a play-in game. And even if they were to make the play-in, would it make sense? Nah, it would make more sense to be a lottery team, have a chance of getting a top 5 pick, maybe even getting the number 1 overall pick. And again, I know a lot of people see this draft class as being weak compared to years prior. But again, if they Grizzlies can have a top 5 pick, man, you go out and make a big trade. We all know the Grizzlies really could use a small forward. Obviously, the center spot, they have 2 season-ending injuries to Steven Adams and Brandon Clark, so maybe they can go after the center. But if they can have a top pick, man, they really, really, really need a small forward. Y'all know in today's NBA, man, the small forward position is so key. You got Kawhi, you got Paul George, you can play the 3, OG Anunoby. You got so many. I mean, LeBron, obviously, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. That wing spot is so important in today's game. And so the Grizzlies can maybe do that. And you talking about next, you come back with Ja, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson Jr. Maybe that true 3-and-D wing that this team could really, really use. And so if I was the Grizzlies, this is the direction that I would go in. Again, I don't know if this is what they're going to do, but this is what I'm saying. Zay is saying this is what he would do, okay? What I would do is yeah, this is what I would do, y'all. What I would do is tank again. Obviously, the organization not gonna come out and say that, but that's what I would do, because I really think if the Grizzlies are able to acquire a top 5 pick, that could greatly help them in terms of going out and making a huge trade, and then the Grizzlies, y'all, can be right back in the Western Conference race. They could potentially be a finals contender next season if they were able to get a top 5 pick and go out and make a big trade. So there y'all have it, man. There was a recap of the latest NBA news, injuries, and Draymond retiring. Come on, man. Draymond. Come on, bruh. If y'all like the video, man, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Also, man, please, y'all, add me on Twitch, Zaymullah Sports, all lowercase. Let me repeat, add me on Twitch, Zaymullah Sports, lowercase. I also want to say appreciate everyone that came through to the live stream last night. And y'all, I'm thinking about going live again tonight. So come check in and tune in to your boy Zaymullah. Y'all know I'm going to end it, man. I love y'all. God bless. Peace.